Hi, what's up? Yeah, this is interesting. This is the morning time. Would you even notice that? Right? Look, if you can see the mess in my fucking room, you can see it. But if you can't, that's a blessing. But yeah, I'm gonna roll up because I need to go grocery shopping with my mom. So I gotta hurry up because I really want to talk about this Gypsy Rose Blanchard situation. And obviously I've not made this type of content on my channel, but it was soon to come. I really do like true crime. I like anything that deals with people in general. I like social media, I like media stuff, and yeah, so let's just jump into it. So who is Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and who is this woman that you may or may not know or recognize, that recently got released out of prison? I believe I think like in time for Christmas or a little bit after Christmas. So she's been out in prison for like a week up to 2 weeks now. And at this point, I'm pretty sure she is 32 years old. And yeah, so who is she? Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a 32-year-old woman who had a troubled history because she had an issue. Her issue was basically her mother, because her mother has Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Okay, so what is that? Okay, have you ever heard of Munchausen syndrome? And it can even be related to like people who have really bad health anxiety, and you get to that point. Munchausen syndrome in general, it is a disorder, a mental disorder that is characterized as something that is severe than health anxiety, believing that one is ill even though they have no issue at all. Like they have no health conditions, no type of, nothing. Like maybe like for example, let's say you're in no pain right now. Let's say you're entirely okay. You with Munchausen syndrome, you can believe like, oh, I need to go get x-rays done, I need MRIs, I need these certain type of procedures. And it usually is common that people with Munchausen syndrome have some type of knowledge on, medical instruments and what medications to use and things like that. And it is a mental illness. Who knows what it is caused by, but it can usually be caused by a troubled past. And I did not look up Gypsy Rose Blanchard's mother, Dee Dee. I really forgot her childhood. I really did forget it. But I can, probably put in the editing to clarify if Dee Dee Blanchard, if she dealt with any childhood traumas that can possibly, for the reason why she projected her own whatever on her daughter. Because personally I don't, because like I gotta read up on her past, but personally, like I said, I don't know what's projections of her personal, like her, Dee Dee's personal like issues and stuff like that, and her personal mental illness, because that is a thing. I've seen this case before, Munchausen syndrome by proxy or something related to that, and it can also occur with mothers who deal with postpartum depression. I've seen this in the past where these women would say that their babies are sick and basically they need help, and usually the baby's fine. Sometimes you can go into psychosis and the woman, or would think those type of things. And even when a woman isn't dealing with postpartum depression, a woman or a person who has, has already been pregnant and birthed their baby, they just would think those things. And that's a thing. It's not like uncommon to where it happens too often, but like it is a thing where you hear that. So I'm not too surprised hearing it, but it's really sad and devastating that it happened to this extreme extent. And this is one of the small cases of many that Munchausen syndrome by proxy has gained mainstream attention. Because I'm pretty sure, because if I just said like I've seen people done it for their babies, I'm pretty sure they, parents did it to the kids up until like, elementary school years, 10, 12 years old, even teenagers. And I believe I saw cases of that before. But Gypsy Rose is just a really popular case, because guess what? The difference between Gypsy Rose Blanchard's story and others dealing with Munchausen syndrome by proxy is that sadly, like I said, I'm sad for Gypsy Rose for dealing with all of this. Dee Dee, Gypsy's mother, was infatuated with attention. And at the end of the day, I am just saying speculation, really loose tight theories, not necessarily theories, but objective observations. At the end of the day, ask Gypsy herself on her mother and her personality. But what I'm saying is, people, when they can't get attention for whatever reason, they'll get it through another way. And a lot of parents who do that by abusing, exploiting their children. And I do believe Dee Dee is a part of that, because, okay, cool, your daughter is supposedly sick, and Dee Dee has been doing this since Gypsy was a baby. So basically, Dee Dee had a habit of stealing from her family. At some point in her adult life, she worked as a nurse's aide, and the thing is, the family expressed suspicion that around 1997, she might have killed her own mother by denying her food. So I can, assume that this kind of came on to the next victim, which is her daughter. And that's pretty much it. That's what I got. So that's what I was talking about. She was doing this to a past person, also her mother. I just wanted to make that clear. Yeah, because it's like, because since Dee Dee birthed Gypsy, around when Gypsy was 3 months old, she would even report that Gypsy has sleep apnea and things like that. So it's been a thing. So I speculate that Dee Dee and the way she is due from personal mental illness, because we don't personally know Dee Dee's true past. We just know what's on the internet. And secondly, it could be from her environment, and be from what she thinks and what she's been through, and even a want of attention, or we truly don't know personally. But as we can see, that Dee Dee does like attention, and Dee Dee has some type of health anxiety and some type of feelings and delusions. Because I know to a certain extent, I do know that Dee Dee was liking this for the intention. And I also feel like Dee Dee wanted somebody she could rely on, depend on for her life. And I guess, and something that had to do with control or something along those lines. Especially since, and this is the thing, I know, blah, blah, blah. People say this all the time, but that doesn't mean it's okay. I'm not I don't give a fuck if it's 1702. I would never condone a 24-year-old woman, taking advantage of a 17-year-old boy, because that's what Dee Dee did. I don't give a fuck when that was 1991 or whatever the fuck that was. Whenever Gypsy was born, I don't condone that. I don't care what year it was. And so I personally believe that Dee Dee has something that relies upon the relations of control and projection, anxiety, and wanting for attention, and something that's within her personality and within her past that we don't know about, that made her even deny her mother food, and for that to escalate into Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is to put that on thy child or a person near the next to them. So basically, and so throughout Gypsy's life, Dee Dee was always the forefront of Gypsy. And this is from my objective viewpoint, that Dee Dee was always well known, and she made sure that people knew that she was Gypsy Rose's mother, and that she was a good mother. She was doing all these things, and her daughter was so sick. They were able to meet celebrities, go to trips on Disneyland, even have people help them with finances and the things that are related. And what, the cause of Gypsy being sentenced to prison was because that Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, she is I wouldn't say an attention hog, but she really loves attention. Because the thing is, when Gypsy has been being abused and exploited by her mother, because her mother has Munchausen syndrome by proxy, she was doing that situation for 19 years. And so the thing is, and what's really weird, in my opinion, I really hate people. A lot of people are very stupid. And I'm saying this because Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she had the education of a second grader when she was 19, but they were applauding Gypsy as she was like she was, I don't know. Oh my god, they were applauding Gypsy like she was a one day embryo knowing how to use Facebook. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, I just can't articulate that to where like people will infantilize Gypsy and undermine Gypsy's intelligence and her mental capacity just because Dee Dee withheld certain types of education and to a certain extent from Gypsy. That doesn't mean Gypsy is stupid. I don't understand that. Like, people, not everybody, but people were up in arms that Gypsy was able to sneak when her mother was asleep, going on Facebook, trying to talk to people, trying to escape. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's really disrespectful and backhanded, because it's like, are you gonna tell you that girl is not stupid? She's never been stupid. What the heck are you guys talking about? And I hate that, and they still do that now. And this girl is 32 years old. I've been in prison for around 8 or 9 years. I'm pretty sure she had the opportunity to talk to people, different people, and gain education, because she sounds perfectly normal. And I doubt she sounds like Google Gaga, I'm a fucking baby at 19. Like, that's the thing. One thing I really hate is how they undermine Gypsy's intelligence. I feel like that's really disrespectful. But yeah, throughout the years, Gypsy would sneak and, you know, try to be out in the outside world, because Dee Dee would remove Gypsy's salivary glands, the things you taste things and eat with, and you salivate with those things. So she can't salivate. They removed her teeth. They gave her chemotherapy. They gave her a myriad of medications, different types of like IV things, a feeding tube, alongside more things for the past 19 years. And neglect Gypsy of education, having freedom, and things like that, and basically would age Gypsy 3 years younger than she was, or at least at the time of when Gypsy found her age, because she found her age by looking around her house and finding a birth certificate that didn't match up with Gypsy's, you know, proposed age of 15, but she was actually 19 around that time. So Gypsy was trying to find anybody she could to help her, and her thought was to kill her mother. And it's understandable, because please be really objective with this. If you are an abused child, purposely trapped in your own home, abused by their parent, and how to deal with all these things, right? And you're kind of like stuck with her or stuck with them 24/7, you can't escape. It is understandable that Gypsy would have a wanting to dispose of her mother and her life, because she probably feel like there was no way out. And who knew? We truly don't know Gypsy and her situation and complexity of her ways of escaping. We really just truly don't know. And who knew Gypsy's personal feelings and emotions around that time, and how it conjured up over 19 years, and how she felt towards her mother. You know, it's understandable if anybody was trapped. Honestly, if I was trapped by an abusive parent for years and years, I would want to at least hurt them. The barest minimum, I'm telling the truth. If you were trapped by anybody, regardless if it's your parent or not, it's not surprising for one to want to do something towards that person that may not be the most morally right? So Gypsy wanted to find a person to help her with this. So she found somebody online that became her first boyfriend. And basically they set up this plan. I think he was like 20 or something. They were around the same age. Set up this plan to basically, you know, have her mother pass away by their ability. And that they did. I am unsure what they used. I believe it was a knife at most I can really think of. But yeah, there was, you know, blood, and then they tried to hide and dispose the body. I really don't know how they did it. I'll put it on the screen how they disposed the body and everything. And you know, Gypsy and her boyfriend at the time, he like ran out to the back of McDonald's. I think he was like doing drugs or something. He was doing his own thing, and Gypsy was doing whatever she was doing. Reason why Gypsy and her boyfriend got caught, arrested the both of them. Gypsy took a plea deal, and her boyfriend at the time, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he took a plea deal, Pokey Bear. I don't know. He took plea. I don't even know if he was granted plea. but he is still in jail. And Gypsy, I'm pretty sure, just off of probably like acting good, and simply since Gypsy was in a more complicated situation, and since her action upon her mother wasn't 100% malicious in that intent, was from what she was going through, I think because Gypsy was given like 18 years or 20 years in prison, because she like lived half her sentence or something like that, because she kind of got out a little bit early, which is good, which is cool. And people were really up in arms though about Gypsy's ex-boyfriend, because he's autistic, and I personally don't know, because there's levels and severities to autism. I personally don't know, if he's level 1, 2, or 3, to put it basic. He has moderate, severe, or mild autism. I'm pretty sure people were saying it was possibly moderate or more severe. I guess based on the answers he made, or he wasn't fully capable of understanding what was going on, right? But at the same time, people were like villainizing him. It's like, well, he knew what he was doing. Being autistic doesn't always mean everything, especially since he wanted to, have intimate relations with Dee Dee's, pass away body. Basically, he wanted to have an act of necrophilia. Yeah, so basically, people were like, and that's pretty much it. Gypsy just got out like a week ago, and I believe she was married to her current husband. I don't know when. I'm pretty sure maybe around like 2017 or something. I don't know, but I think it was before the pandemic. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, he's still in prison, Gypsy's out, all of that, and you're seeing this whole big boom of Gypsy. I'm not really on the internet like that, and whenever I am, I'm not necessarily in those sectors to where I saw those memes. I never saw the Gypsy for Gypsy thing, or anything else that's going on, or even people like commenting on Gypsy's husband's appearance and how he resembles her mother. That sounds like I feel it's kind of mean and traumatizing. And I know I'm probably doing like a white knight or whatever, but it's just like, your mama, I don't know, maybe, I don't know Gypsy personally, so maybe Gypsy doesn't get flashbacks and, has bad feelings when someone brings up her mother or whatever, but I just don't feel like that's nice, because it isn't. It's just very uncouth. That's not like some shit you can say behind the scenes, but it's very uncouth. That sounds like very Lipstick Alley. Like, it sounds sad, I don't know, it sounds like very Reddit, when people are saying that shit on Instagram. That's sad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now she's doing, I think, a documentary, I think on HBO or something like that. And she has her own book out, where it's pre-order, an Audible book, and I think that's it. I'm surprised they didn't do no merch about her damn girl. If y'all do some merch, pay me about that idea, because I'm pretty sure y'all got it from me. You got it from me. Hold on. Alright, cool. Alright, so the difference in this lighting and everything, I just talked to my mommy. I'm sorry, I love her. Like, that's your issue. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So like HBO things like that. Damn near, I'm surprised they didn't get no fucking merch. I'm surprised, take that girl, make that girl, get some, white label some wine. White label some wine, Tipsy for Gypsy. But yeah, I gave y'all the whole thing. Yeah, let's wrap it up again. Gypsy Rose is a young woman who has dealt with her mother diagnosed with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Munchausen syndrome is where it's beyond health anxiety, where a person believes that they are beyond sick, and that's usually beyond measure, to where they need like really invasive, very inflammatory procedures like cancer treatments, x-rays, blood, like really like intense blood work, things like that. By proxy simply just means onto the next person around you, and that was Gypsy. She couldn't really do anything for herself. She was like kind of, the girl was like a minor for 17 years. She couldn't do anything for herself, and her mother was all in everybody's faces, loving to get attention. I think she has some type of savior complex. I wouldn't say she's narcissistic. I don't know her personally. I don't know her personality personally, but it is within those fields. And Gypsy would sneak whenever her mom is asleep to try to just be a normal person, be on the internet. She finally found somebody who was willing to help Gypsy escape her situation. by doing something that's, you know, seen as not morally great, by forcing a passing on to her mother by the help of her then boyfriend at the time. Then they did that, and yeah, went to prison. Fast forward, Gypsy has, you know, rekindled with her father because Gypsy's father left, but the boy was 17 years old and Dee Dee was 24 and probably fucking crazy. She fucking suspiciously, supposedly killed her mom. So, yeah. And I'm like, did you see him on the street or in your neighborhood? Are you driving around high schools, girl? What the fuck are you doing at damn near 25 years old? The frontal lobe is almost there, but she sure ain't using it. But yeah, Gypsy, that looks just like her father, which I think is really cute. Rekindled with her father and her siblings, and is just doing like normal people shit. And they're just taking advantage of the situation she's granted by just being on camera, whether that is encouraged by her husband, her current significant other, and her family, whatever that may be. All right, I'm about to smoke this doobie. And more insight on this, and yeah, it's pretty much it. So what do I think about this? What do I think about what Gypsy did to her mother and her significant other? I don't really have an opinion on it because it's an understandable thing. It's not like Gypsy had ill will. It's understandable to think of that extremity, to feel like that's an escape. Because what if Gypsy did try to run away? And what if Dee Dee found some way to find her and keep her captive, even though Gypsy was a legal adult, you know? Who knew? And we truly don't know Dee Dee. I don't know that woman. I wouldn't be surprised if she was, you know, I don't want to say that, like, she was hitting Gypsy like those fucking nurses be beating on old people. I don't want to say that, but I'm saying, like, who knew Dee Dee? Who knew? Dee Dee might just be very intimidating verbally. Or Gypsy can just, who knows? Like, because kids in abusive situations runs away all the time. And if Gypsy was able to walk, talk, do all of that things, we personally don't know, you know, what ways Gypsy could have escaped, but we don't know the severity of, like, the repercussions or what would happen. So I feel like it's an understandable circumstance, and I believe Gypsy got her time. I really do hope that I heard, okay, girl, that was from a different little YouTuber when I was like flicking through the YouTube. The YouTube is flicking through the YouTube, saying that she denied therapy, which is her prerogative. That's her right. But I really do hope Gypsy did receive some type of help throughout her prison sentence, whether that be from peers or, you know, a doctor, a therapist. Because I don't personally believe you always need a doctor's help to recover, especially since people are not always up for it. So I really do hope Gypsy is, you know, healing and resting, especially, it's like 9 years, you know, so hopefully within those 8-9 years she was able to recover from that. So I feel like she did her time. I did want it. I don't really know the case that deep because I'm not watching the documentary or whatever that might be up, because I'm aware of this from years ago, right? And she just kind of like sprouted out in thin air because her first day out picture, but that's kind of understandable because anybody's prisoner's first day out picture, it does have a tendency to go viral, especially since Gypsy was a well-known case and popularized and publicized by companies and God knows who else, right? You know how, I don't know how it kind of got up, maybe because Dee Dee was all up in everybody's face, so who knows, right? But oh yeah, also I forgot the internet, because I forgot the court recordings are like public. That also does make sense, because remember Jeremy, I know I'm off topic, but Jeremy Meeks got famous simply because he was like cute as fuck, and the court things are public, and they're like, oh, Zaddy, light-skinned Zaddy, like, do I gotta go? I'm not going to prison. I ain't gonna jail, girl. I ain't going to jail, girl. I'm not going to prison, girl. The clothes don't serve cunt there. I'm not going. But it's just like, girl, damn. It's just like, what? Jeremy Meeks get a career from going to prison. Gypsy Rose Blanchard get a husband from going to prison. Girl, who else finna go to prison? Like, is this a new thing? Is this a new thing? And people were speculating that Gypsy's husband might have like a kink, fetish, or just like personal thing for inmates, and that he works with children, something within psychology, as well as Gypsy is something of the famality. Is that a word? Gypsy Rose is famous, and even if she's not famous, she's very well known within her case and within what happened. She has some type of attention. I don't even care if she went obsolete, and she's still obsolete now. I don't even care if she's still obsolete now, in theory, because she still had attention, right? People are speculating that he is taking advantage of her because she only had one boyfriend, and I wouldn't even consider that a real boyfriend. And she only had one time of intercourse, and that was with her first boyfriend. I just didn't add that in earlier. I thought it was like unnecessary. So it's like, they're like, oh, what really else? Of course you're gonna say he's the best thing, because what else did she have and stuff like that. He's taking advantage of her because he has that degree, whether it's something that has to do with working with kids or psychology or something like that. So he's taking advantage of her overall because she's an inmate, she's famous, her mental and his mental are different, blah blah blah. And what do you think about that? Let me know. But what I think about that, they're understandable assumptions. At the end of the day, I would say it really makes sense, like, why he would go towards her for attention, even if that's not his full intention of marrying her and being with her. Because people were marrying Ted Dundee, yeah, the Dundee Awards, and he wouldn't win it. No, but people were trying to marry Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, even though Dahmer is a fucking fat. All Charles, I wouldn't be surprised people fucking on marrying Charles Manson or some shit. It's a known thing for people to want to fuck on and marry criminals. Like, it's a known thing for people that want to go fuck on and marry hood niggas, credit card scammers, and the related. Like, that's a thing. Like, that's always been a thing. Bonnie and Clyde, people romanticize Bonnie and Clyde. They're both for criminals, but still. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really surprised people like inmates, whatever their personal reason is. And also, it just might be, hey, why not? Let's go look at a different part of the dating sector. I don't judge in terms of, like, because would I date an inmate? I technically would. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I technically would. I'm really open-minded. Like, I technically would. I would, amongst a lot of other people. No, I'm not looking on sexyinmatemen.com or sexyinmatewomen.com. No, I'm not looking on those things, but I'm just saying, if one so happens to be one, and depending what you got your crime for, I'm pretty indifferent about it. But a lot of people do look for cellmate babies because, they want a pen pal, they want a buddy, they want a better chance of getting a boyfriend, or they just want to, an inmate as their significant other. That's just people's thing. You like meeting people at clubs. Dee Dee likes meeting 17-year-olds. Gypsy's husband like meeting inmates. Everyone has their own personal thing. I don't know where I'll meet anybody, girl. You didn't meet anywhere, Pookie Bear. But, I'm just saying, I don't really have anything against him, even wanting her for fame, because that's kind of a normal human thing. Taking advantage of her, well, I hope he's not. I can't even say he is or not. We don't know. And I don't know. And I don't really have any speculations. And we just hope that her happiness is in my eye. We just hope that her happiness is just as truthful as she is saying on the screen. Happy with her husband, with his fire ass D. I would love some fire ass D, but I didn't go to jail. It's okay, girl. Just give me some time, girl. Give me some time, girl. So, honestly, I don't really have an opinion on Gypsy's husband. I am irritated with him with his comment, though. And I really do hope, well, it is on the official company website, so I hope I can screen grab this after this video.
Didn't get wrong that my mother was just an evil person, and then that's not the case. She suffered from mental illness, so I don't think that she was ever purposely trying to be mean or hurt me. I think it was maybe something that it was out of her control. It is called a disease for a reason. It is called mental illness for a reason. So I want to bring awareness to that.
I think one is, people call her the master manipulator. It wasn't that. It was the other way around in that relationship with her ex. It was the other way around. She was manipulated.
And they weren't even asking for him to talk. Oh yeah, they were saying like Gypsy is the bad one, Gypsy is the master manipulator, Gypsy is the mastermind. No, it's flipped around, it's switched. It's the other way around. Yeah. Oh, hello? And then Gypsy just didn't say anything, and they just had like a really awkward stare toward the camera for like 5 seconds. And I know you do have to kind of do that on TV so it can like pander, but it's just like it felt uncomfortable. And that's it. So I can't really say anything, you know, about her husband or anything like that, or any of their family members. The people are just on her husband. And then people were talking about how Gypsy shouldn't be on social media right after prison. And I guess especially since she is really famous and has a big following, because she has like over 6 million. She had, the time I was recording this right now, she has around like 6.8 million followers and averaging around 1 to 2 million likes per photo. And God knows, you know, how many people can recognize her on the street, and you know how she can't probably even walk down the street, and people are making, you know, endless memes about her, endless memes about Gypsy Rose. And people are saying she should stay out the spotlight. She should stay off social media for like 3 to 6 months or even a year. And she shouldn't just be online. And this is just very unhealthy for her. And people are calling Gypsy entitled or immature for wanting to be in a spotlight. They're calling her conceited. They're saying she may not be emotionally or mentally mature enough to even deal with any of us. You know, that's your opinion to make an opinion about those statements. I'm just telling you what people said. I think it's just her prerogative personally. As long as she has a good PR team and even like a therapist and the pep talk and support from her family, I feel like Gypsy can adequately learn how to adjust to just not even going out, being outside and having a normal life, but also having a life where you're famous as well. So, you know, I don't really... It burns. I'm not against Gypsy wanting attention. And plus, I feel like that's very natural. I feel like that's very fine. That, you know, anybody would want or like attention. And I don't really have... there's no objective problem with it, honestly. You're excited to be on social media. You're excited to, you know, say hello to the world. You will want some attention, some support. You will want to help people. You would like to make some extra money. You would want to just have a normal life and just try all these new things. That's what a person does at a prison. And who wouldn't like... and I know some people probably wouldn't like all the fame, but still in general, you get absolute adornment the second you go outside. And shit tons of money, or at least an opportunity to make those shit tons of money, because I personally know how much she's making. You know, I don't really think, you know, that's not necessarily an issue objectively, and it's just no issue. And I don't really see an issue in it either. Like, y'all just mad that y'all didn't go to prison and got famous and made money. You know, look, it's the least she can have. That girl went through hell and back for 19 years. It's the least she can, at least a girl can have, you know? Well, let her have her fire D, her fame, and her money, and her being tipsy. You know, I don't drink like that, but I'll be tipsy for Gypsy. Just for her. And yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. And people want justice on her ex-boyfriend. And I say, as a psychiatrist and as the court judge, and then make that statement, child, you could probably give him some type of like hospitalization jail time thing, because they do that. Maybe do that for a few years and then put him in jail once he's like mentally okay, I guess. But I don't really have an opinion. But it's kind of hard when he was kind of being odd behind a McDonald's and wanted to like be intimate with her mother's body, with Gypsy's mother's body, and also just doing the act of like attacking a woman and hurting her to the extent in the first place, especially since he has no relation to Dee Dee Blanchard. You know, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to reduce a sentence or see him more sympathetically simply because he's autistic. Like, I don't think that's, you know, give him some help, you know, but at least give him like 20-30 years in prison or something. Like, he still needs jail time, you know. Especially since usually jail time is like an adult timeout way of saying, like, you know, you'll be in here again if you know, kill somebody. So I think it's good he should get some jail time. I'm just saying. And then some more years of probation or something right after jail. I think that should be done, but whatever. Oh, attack me, I guess. And will I be buying her book? No, I don't really have an interest in it. Will we watch her documentary? If I have HBO Max for free, or I can watch that shit for free, if it's not a hassle for me to watch, I don't mind watching it. But I'm really indifferent towards watching it because I kind of know the whole story, but I guess they can get more tea out of it. Out the documentary. And in general, I think Gypsy get an understandable decision. I don't support nor do I condemn her decision. I do understand it. That's all I can really say, because that literally is my opinion. I don't know. Like, you're being abused, especially medically abused, in many ways possible throughout your life. And I would even say possibly publicly embarrassed if Gypsy felt a very negative way about how Dee Dee dressed her. Going through 19 years of all of that, you know, I don't know, I'm just saying, I don't really have an issue with that. It's just like, it's understandable, and she got her time. Like, people are acting like she should still be in jail. She should still be in jail. Like, okay, give her probation, how about that? Because she kind of did, she got 9 years. She did 9 years. The girl was abused. The girl may or may not have mental illnesses and at least trauma or shit, a hard time, that's for sure. The girl may not have trauma or even may not have a mental illness, but for sure that girl had a hard time. A hard time that she had to dispose of her mother because that's all she could think of. But, you know, her and her boyfriend didn't think it through enough. It wasn't too smart with their decisions. So she got caught and she did her time, and she is getting her gift for doing her time, and it's the least she can get in that gift. Going through that her entire life, and at least Gypsy can be famous and well known off of herself and not off of her being abused and publicly abused and humiliated by her mom. So yeah, I do hope Gypsy the best, and I just hope like everything's okay. And I don't have an opinion on her husband. I just feel like the one thing he said at the interview, but there's really nothing to have an opinion on him. And his appearance is not my business, because a lot of people are shitting on the way he looked. Look, man, you're not the one that's having sex with him, so I don't really think it's your prerogative to really body shame him and call him names. Like, it's just very uncouth of people. But I don't know, whatever makes her happy, man. So bye, I hope you guys have a great time, and if y'all gonna watch it, let me know. If y'all have any opinions of this, let me know. I might watch it if it's convenient enough, but if it's not convenient enough, I'm not watching it. I know enough, and maybe I can go find it free by a YouTuber who screen recorded it that's not that annoying and doesn't talk that fucking much throughout the video to kind of watch the shit. I don't know, or 123movies.com or something like that, I don't know. But peace out, and you know, if you guys are dealing with any issues and any type of abusive situation or something like that, here are some phone numbers you can call. Hopefully they are international too. I would try to find my best, try to find some text message ones or anything. It can also just be about like mental illness and, you know, just you having a hard time, and even if it's in the rough spot, it doesn't mean you have to be abused, but like with some shitty family members or roommates or whatever, even if you're abused, it's best to report it and try your best, and especially when you can, and this is the safest way, so you don't have to, you know, have to make the decision of making an extreme decision and just putting everything at risk. I don't know. But yeah, peace out. That sounds so sad, I'm sorry. But it's like a mental health video, and it's just like really important to me, so bye.